A man who took on those pushing leftist thought, Edwin J. Feulner Jr., the founder of the Heritage Foundation, a pivotal figure in shaping the modern conservative movement. He died on July 18th at the age of 83. His visionary leadership transformed Heritage into a leading think tank, influencing Republican policies from the Reagan era to the present day. To discuss his life and legacy, let's bring in the president of the Heritage Foundation, Kevin Roberts. Mr. Roberts, it's a pleasure to welcome you, sir. Mr. Feulner's impact on the American conservative movement can't be overstated. Tell us what you think his life and legacy were all about.
Well, the most important thing to say about Ed Feulner, Chris, is that he was a tremendous man of great faith, loved his family, of course, his wife, Linda, and his two children. All of us who had the pleasure, the privilege of working with him knew him to be someone who was irrepressibly cheerful. He was very Reagan-esque that way, which is fitting given their friendship. But for people who might be curious about what we think his legacy is, I would say, number one, look at D.C. becoming less important. For us as conservatives during the presidency of Richard Nixon, who was no ideological conservative, Heritage was born out of that reaction against that. And obviously, we need to make D.C. a lot less important. But ultimately, that is the legacy of Ed. But secondly, I would say at your local level, your state level, the federal level, even the international level, the whole constellation of organizations that fight for limited government, for freedom, for common sense, for the family, almost all of those, directly or indirectly, were touched or were initiated by Ed Feulner. It's a legacy he was proud of, but he's also very quiet about because he wanted other people to get the credit.
And now, where do you see Heritage fitting in the attempts to further conservatism and to maybe wrest control or maybe restore the representative republic that we all know and love? Where do you see the future for Heritage going?
Well, the future of Heritage is totally focused on self-governance. We like to say, to quote another late member of the Heritage board, Jerry Hume, that Americans live the good life. And so while, of course, at Heritage, we're going to adapt our tactics, some of our policy papers, some of the work we're doing at the federal and state level to reflect circumstances, our principles will never change. And ultimately, if Ed happened to be here with us today, he would remind us to lean forward, to be bold, to be cheerful, and to never assume that any victory is permanent. If, in fact, we keep that mindset, Chris, then I think we're going to have a governing coalition in Washington and in most state capitals for a whole generation.
Well, Kevin, to remind everybody what Reagan also said, freedom must be defended again, again, and then again. And that's why I'm thankful we have Heritage there, because the left, they're not going to stop coming. So we've got to be ever present. Kevin Roberts, thank you very much for your organization, and thank you very much for your time today. Coming up.